so-called Bridge to Nowhere is located here in downtown Gainesville, Georgia. The bridge was built in 2011 with the city's Midtown revitalization plan in mind. When the bridge was originally built, it spanned over Jesse Jewell Parkway and connected Brunel University to an empty lot. Many local residents were left in confusion as to why this bridge was needed or what its purpose was for, hence why the bridge was known as the Bridge to Nowhere. What the public didn't realize was the bigger picture. Gainesville had a huge plan for this bridge. Good things take time, right? You can't just build everything overnight, unfortunately. Gainesville had a plan set in motion to make Midtown a walkable city. The first step was to bring people to the city. The intent was to take this empty lot and use it to provide housing, restaurants, and businesses in order to allow the city to grow. The second step was to create easily accessible pathways. Hall County has an initiative called Highlands to Islands. The intent here is to combine existing pathways throughout the community to create this large network of trails that connect you to different parts of the county, whether that be the Highlands or Lake Lanier Islands. The Highlands to Islands initiative really couldn't be completed without the design of the pedestrian bridge. I have here today a local runner who will explain how this bridge has helped him as well as many others.
Before the bridge was built, it was kind of like playing Frogger in between the cars to try and cross the street, where you were constantly having to wait on the crosswalk signs to illuminate so you could cross. After the bridge, it makes it much easier to actually get your full run in without having to stop and jog in place.
Midtown Gainesville is a hotspot for runners. The Highlands to Islands Trail is actually where I ran my first 10K, and I will say, crossing over that bridge is a whole lot safer and prettier than crossing that busy road. Throughout the years, as things started getting built on the other side of the bridge, for example, a coffee shop, a pizza place, a large apartment complex, some breweries, and a Midtown park, people stopped calling the pedestrian bridge the Bridge to Nowhere, and instead called the bridge to somewhere, implying that this bridge can help you reach so many different destinations. When designing the bridge, there were some major constraints that needed to be kept in mind. The most difficult part of the design was the fact that it had to span over 5 lanes of traffic, a median, and 2 sidewalks. The bridge overall has 3 spans, with the largest span being 111 feet long. Each span consists of 2 pre-stressed beams as well as diaphragm beams spanned at a maximum of 10 feet on center. What is interesting about these beams is that they aren't your typical Type 1 or Type 2 I-beams found on the Astro design charts. These beams have a unique shape to allow for 3 things. The top of the beam is tilted outwards to cause the architectural railing to create this V shape when mounted flush to the beam. The lower half of the beam has a corbel that provides bearing surface for the walkway slab. And the entire length of the beam is actually curved in order to keep the beginning and end elevation of the bridge the same while providing ample clear height for the roadway below it. The substructure is another unique aspect of the design. The beams are bearing on an irregular cast-in-place bent. The cap is typical and spans the width of the bridge to allow each side of beam to bear on. The pile, however, is not your typical straight up and down, but it's actually in a V shape to coincide with the architectural railing on the bridge. The axial load variation in a slanted column could potentially lead to shear failure if not designed adequately. Overall, I believe that the engineers and architects did a fantastic job collaborating on this project to not only design a bridge that is safe and structurally sound, but to design a beautiful bridge to somewhere.